neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. AJ, A-Dub, Marco, and Stretch. Keeping it forthright, vulnerable, and... Yeah! Welcome back. You have officially returned it to the informalities and the honesties of integral podcasting. Oh, fellas, welcome. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good on this Sunday morning.
Pretty good, yo.
Doing great, man. Wiping that crust out my eye.
Yeah. In the morning. Crit that crust out.
Lovely Sunday morning. I'm decent on this end too. I finally got back in the gym after fucking months. And I gotta tell you, my titties are very sore. It's a really tender titty kind of day. And
titty boy.
You gotta sleep on your back tonight, son.
Man, I was laying in bed last night with like my phone sleeping on my like just laying on my side, and I had to like adjust to sleep on my back because I was like, I can't. I'm flexing by holding it this way.
Well, yo, I had a moment today where I realized that I forgot that I had a podcast, just in general. Making some Mickey Mouse waffles, and it just hit me. I'm like, yo, I missed something weird. Something's off, yo. I was like, fuck.
Well, something's supposed to be happening, right?
Yeah. I have a podcast that's been lasting for over 2 years. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, otherwise, man, so far so good.
Well, in regards to Mickey Mouse, speaking of racist things, there's this Adam found an article talking about this song by a motherfucker named Jason Aldean that I had heard about. I had heard some lyrics to it, and I was like, "The fuck is this?" Like this blatancy called "Try That in a Small Town." Now, of course, like this came back up after the Montgomery situation, and people were like, that Montgomery ain't exactly a big city, so they tried that in a small town, and they fucked around and found out. Before we even dive into it, you hear the song title, "Try That in a Small Town." What do you think the song may be about?
I mean, like,
was that a real question? Country song. Let's be the most. You hear there's a country song called "Try That in a Small Town."
It's like, for me, I automatically think about, like, okay, so have you guys kind of like been noticing the kind of the smash and grabs happening as of late? Like, there's like this like influx of people like going into like luxury stores. It doesn't even have to be a luxury store, but like going in the stores, like 4 or 5 people taking as much stuff they can and running out. It's like it's been like running. Like
I've seen a few videos of it.
Yeah, so
I didn't know if it was like more. Happening more often now.
I don't know if it is or if it's just, and I hate to blame everything on media, but or is it just the media kind of like hyping it up? I don't know, but anyway, I automatically think of that, and I'm not even saying he mentions anything about that in the song, but I always see that rhetoric though, like, or like back in the day, people used to say, like the reason why, mass shootings don't happen in Texas is because everyone's got a gun. But as we know, there's been plenty of mass shootings in Texas. So like people try to hype up where they're from. Like, yeah, that don't happen here. Cause but I'm like, I mean, you're not immune from chaos. So
right.
Anyway, so I think about the song and I think of that mentality, like, like you don't try that here because we're armed and with Second Amendment this and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, nobody's fearful of your, I guess, environment like that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't even know if that's making any sense, but it's just like,
No, it does.
I don't know. It's just an imagery. It's like this person, this mentality that I always see online, where it's like, and it's kind of like that same mentality. It's like the guys that have the "Don't Tread on Us" stickers on their trucks, the guys with the Second Amendment,
and all that.
And it's like those are the people that's like the guys that boycotted Bud Light. It's like it's all in the same. It's just the same family of people. It seems like, I don't know.
Seems like, yeah.
I'm assuming that's like the audience of this type of stuff.
Oh
yeah.
And I guess it's hard for me to take them serious.
Well, apparently this song charted pretty well.
Yeah.
Or was charting pretty well. Apparently, since Montgomery that has plummeted.
It might have a dope beat. I haven't heard it. It might have a dope beat. I don't know. I'm gonna be neutral and fair. If the beat is dope, then I haven't heard it yet. I'm just saying.
I assure you, I haven't heard to this day any in those two sentiments ever associated as far as country and a dope beat. So,
Metro Boomin.
So I'm gonna be Ben Shanigro, and I'm gonna read some of these lyrics. So
yeah, he does do that a lot, don't he? Like really.
Oh my god,
the title is clickbaity, man. It's like it make me want to listen to it. Like, what? Try what?
Yeah. I agree with Adam. Like when I hear the title of the first thing that comes to mind is like, all right, this is somebody like pretty much challenging the world. That shit ain't gonna happen in my hood, in my like. Like Marcus said in the previous episode, anybody can get it.
Yeah, it's that thing of the hypocrisy around trying to let the, how should I say, what conservative media does to demonize urban or more populated environments in rural towns, and then them just running away with that kind of rhetoric is what leads to this kind of shit. But yeah, sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit on
South cop.
Right. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. This, of course. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
See, and that's when it gets
kind of shit.
Yeah. See, that's when it gets crazy because, like, okay, if someone breaks the law, by all means, arrest them. Yeah. Let them, do whatever they got to do, repay their whatever. But now you're talking about see if you make it down the road. Now you're getting
mob shit.
Exactly. Now you're getting KKK, on us, and that's when it gets like even the other stuff I don't agree with, but it's like it's America. You can say what you want to say, but then when it starts getting into that KKK rhetoric, then that's when I have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. And, that's how Ahmaud Arbery died. He been followed down the road, so it's. And he wasn't something on no flag,
just exercising.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, did you say got a gun my granddad gave me?
Yeah, no, I didn't. That's the next chorus. Next verse. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might not fly in the city. Good luck.
My thing is like.
Full of good old boys raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Yeah.
Refrain. My thing is like, this is the things that you just think go on in non-small, like this all we do in places that's not small towns. Or like we know who you're talking about. You're talking about you're trying to target Black people for somehow, and you think this happens. It does happen everywhere, but it's like for you to even put all of these things in one group, it's you're trying to persuade others, like, yeah, this is what they do, like that type of thing. Like,
yeah,
that's how I feel. It's like it's too suggestive. Like, this happens everywhere. This happens in small towns, even.
Yeah. And the whole cop thing spitting in the cop's face. It's like there's this notion that, Black folks out here just murdering police officers at a alarming rate. But when you look at the numbers, the biggest threat to police officers are white males. Like those are the numbers. If you go on the FBI's website and check that. But it's like everyone believes that it's folks that looks like Josh that is killing the police. It's like, and I'm not saying a Black person has never murdered a police officer, because obviously we know that's not the case.
But it's literally a thing of one of the times I was out in the mountains and and I was at one of the like smaller bars. And I remember, what was it? I just happened to be like next to the bar. Guy turns around, he's like, "Hey man, what are you drinking?" And I was like,
sound like a beginning of a movie, by the way.
He's like, "What are you drinking?" I was like, "You treating?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I got you on the first round." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch you pour this drink." But I was like,
definitely want to talk to you about something.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, whatever whiskey you want to go with.
He's trying to get to the bottom of something.
Yeah.
Give me and my friend here whiskey and a pickleback. And and so he gives me the drinks, like, "Cheers to you, brothers. Good to see you around here. And just wanted to let you know, caught a couple guys eyeing you since you walked in, let you know I got your back." It's like I'm a county sheriff 2 towns over, and I don't play that shit. Now, there's so many layers to this. One, he's a cop.
Yeah.
And he was a cop that was willing to protect me. First Black man I'm sure he's seen in more than a fortnight. And, and this was like January 2020. So this is right before the pandemic. I know my locks are started by then. Like, there's a lot of things going up. So I don't even have a like I have a like the police system is fucked up. I don't necessarily even have a all cops. My uncle's a cop. He's a phone cop, but he's a cop nonetheless. Like, I don't even have that thing, but I just go, what is this? Everything must be right if it's in any regard to people of color, Black folks, what have you, because no matter what, they're in the wrong. And this was a time I could appreciate this not being the case, because my head's on swivel anywhere, anytime, especially when I'm out there. And so for him to be like, "Hey, I clocked a couple guys that have been staring at you since you walked in," and I'm going, I'm minding my fucking business.
What if he was just actually trying to diffuse you? Like, maybe he thought you were a threat, so he was trying to diffuse you before you
I mean,
became a threat to him also. We've been eyeing you, so
it's
okay. You know.
I mean, it wasn't like I got like treated poorly since I walked in. This was a particular bar that I think it was the first time I even went to this place. Sometimes you can clock a bar from the outside, like, not that one.
That happened to me a few weeks ago.
Too many pickup trucks.
That's funny.
It's like
if there's a white hood with two eyes cut out, maybe you should have known that one.
So I've been going out there for years, and I remember distinctly I had never gone to that bar, but the homies that I used to kick it with, like, "Hey, we're going to," I'll not say their name, but yeah,
Jason Aldean's bar.
Like, we go to this bar, and like, do you care that they smoke in the bar? Because most of the bars out there don't care about smoking indoors and all of that.
Certainly.
And I was like, yeah, nah. And so we go in, And I'm like, okay, pool tables, karaoke, typical little bar shit. Not paying nobody no mind. I'm just here with people I came with.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Also,
I didn't feel
like him to
more in
like
danger than
bring some
normal.
unnecessary, put you on, I'm trying to think, like, if I was in that situation, and he said that, I'm like, all right, if you really got my back, then just have my back, but don't put this shit in my head. So I'm thinking about it now. Can't even enjoy my drink. If you got my back, if something pop off, have my back.
I mean, no, I can't even necessarily say that because
because I'm thinking, like, if they really hadn't seen a black person in so long, and it doesn't blow my mind if I walk in or someone walks in, a black person walks in, and they're like, "Oh, we haven't seen that in a while." That's to be expected if they really haven't seen it in a fortnight. There's nothing unusual about them. Even if the roles were reversed, like there's nothing unusual about not seeing a black person for a long time or a white person, whatever, like, and saying, "Oh, that's new." But I wouldn't want the guy to like put some shit in my head of like, just have my back if shit pops off,
Well, no, I think that's the whole thing of like him. Me personally, I appreciate it. It doesn't fuck up my mind anymore just because, like I said, without necessarily any kind of like fear or trepidation, my head's on swivel no matter if I'm in a foreign environment.
Got you. Yeah, yeah.
I don't necessarily even think that danger is looming. I just want to make sure and my reaction speed can be at tip top shape no matter what. And then when he said that, it made me go, okay, cool. Because I know the bitch I rode in here with is not going they're not gonna help. They're going, no, stop. They're gonna do that kind of shit. No, I know somebody else is gonna be there to immediately put the pause on somebody. That gave me a little more reassurance than it did made me more cautious.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure you enjoy that pickleback. You no, if he knew, if he was like, yo, danger's like looming, like a week ago, black person came in for the first time, some shit popped up. I want to know. I want to, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Let me know. But like, also, don't want motherfuckers putting shit in my head. Just, you want to enjoy the time a little bit while you're there anyway.
I mean, but like, stuff like that would always happen out there. I was at a strip club out there, and a dude I had just met started telling me this life story about like him going through divorce and moving back to Wyoming to be a welder. Like shit happened out there. Small towns is just vulnerable white men wanting to like open up.
Yeah, especially at a bar, especially after some drinks. Yeah, you're gonna be there for a while listening to that story.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Have y'all ever been in a situation like that where someone warned you or like just gave you some kind of reassurance that you wasn't even expecting? Not necessarily like it identically, but just any kind of situation where
actually,
that could have happened.
In Indiana, it was I want to say maybe like 20, 30 minutes. Was that south of Valparaiso? I'm trying to remember what the town was called, but I think we can't remember if we touched on this topic before, but some folks, they're like, I guess you can call them renegades of sorts. Or vigilantes, if you will. But, I think they were called like the Indiana militia or some shit. You heard of that idea, like that theme going on?
Oh yeah.
Folks like, taking it upon themselves to, keep control on some Gotham City shit. But I remember my uncle straight up was like, because while I was working in clothes in Valpo, I had met some friends who were from like the Couts area, which is like south of Valparaiso, like 20, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't spent much time in that area, but like Valpo was cool. And then I was like going to one of their birthday parties. And Ken was just like straight up, yo, just like, first he said it like, yo, be on the lookout. And then he called me while I was driving. He was like, for real, be on the lookout.
For real.
Yeah.
I stopped at a gas station. He was like, which one? And I was like, no, for real. He was like, yo, because he had one guy he worked at the mill with him who stopped at a gas station, black dude. walked in and there was a guy like in full fatigue, army fatigue, gun and everything, who escorted him out and was like, "Don't come back," essentially. So my aunt and uncle were calling me like, "Yo, how long are you staying? Like, what time are you gonna be back home?" Shit like that. And I was like, "Yo, are you serious for real?" And like they were like, "Yeah,
for
real."
And that's
happened. My bad, Adam. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's what people don't realize. That's Northwest Indiana, a place we call home. And I'm not saying we call Couts home.
Indiana.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just being specific. Like we would go to Valparaiso. I'm not saying we would go to Couts per se, but we would go to Valpo and Cheston. Those aren't like uncommon places for people to end up. And his aunt and uncle are white people, and they're saying, "Hey, look out!" So that's just and that's the thing that frustrates me when people accuse black people of pulling the race card per se. I'm like, there's no race card. This is like people's real life. Like it's
absolutely
like. But you go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, you're fine. It made me think about and I may have brought this up before or whatever. What was it when Jamal first got to college? He went to Indiana State, and his RA brought him a map as we were moving him in, and was like, "These 3 towns, never stop in. Don't make sure you got enough gas to get through them. Make sure you're not speeding, so you don't run the risk of getting pulled over. Like these surrounding cities of like South Terre Haute and a couple other places I don't remember the name of."
Where'd you say it was? I missed.
Indiana State.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where is Indiana State, by the way?
Terre Haute.
Okay.
Terre Haute, yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I only been Terre Haute like 3 times, and it was because Jamal was there. But they were like, these aren't even sundown towns. These are do not stop towns.
Yeah.
Like one of them was like the birthplace of the Klan and all of that. Like,
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, Indiana is a crazy place, man. Like honestly, like Adam said, even Northwest Indiana, like soon as you go, definitely when you go like to Couts and Knox and those type of places, I found that out on this job I had. But
and honestly, I'm trying to think, how long ago was that? That wasn't super long ago. What was that, like 2014, 2015? Not super long ago. So that like adds some real life perspective. but also, man, that shit, I remember being frustrated because, I mean, obviously, luckily nothing happened to me, but I don't know. That shit is just frustrating. Like
that they can
such a situation, and that like that shit can happen, obviously, but I just remember my aunt being so concerned. I'm like, damn, is it really like that fucking?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, here's the thing though, because obviously, like, it's hard for me to balance. So I know that a lot of it is people's past experience, and they're trying to like help me out and give me a warning. A lot of it, 99% of it, is people's past experience, what they've seen, what they've heard. So just to be on the safe side, but also it's like, there's like I don't even know how to say it. There's like a fine line between, all right, I know there's a legitimate worry and concern, but also this is this person's experience. And sometimes I don't have the right balance I don't balance on the right side of those things, I guess. I don't always like the idea of being like, all right, this person's past experience, they're concerned, I'm gonna just shy away from the shit, especially if I wanted to go there to have fun, to do something. This time I ended up doing it and was fine, but I guess I get frustrated myself. I don't like that. I don't always like that. It doesn't sit well with me, I guess is what I'm saying.
I think it's just
a lot of times it's legitimate concern too. I can acknowledge.
Yeah, that. I think I get and hear you that you don't want anything to inhibit you.
Especially because it's not absolutely guaranteed that the same thing's going to happen to me.
It's just a gamble.
I'm fair.
The My bad.
No, that was it. I was just saying I acknowledge also that I'm fair skinned, so that
Yeah.
that plays a part too. But
And so that there is a bit of, like, and lack of better terms, it's a bit of privilege that gets to come with that because you are a little more passive. But it is a thing of the gamble in this is your experience could be a last experience. So
yeah, that's a good point. There's a difference between a lasting experience.
So it's the thing of like, I get like you want to be optimistic in it, but that's just a really big fucking gamble.
Yeah.
But
come out here trying to have fun. Try that in a small town. Got some black in you. Try that in a small town.
I remember being like, man, we about to kill it in this volleyball game. Like, I'm going, yo.
Better lose, bro. It's like playing basketball in the hood. You better keep that close game. Don't be dominating now. We're definitely gonna fight you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I explained that well, but that was a very good point, Josh. But sometimes I just be getting frustrated at it. It's like, damn, man, I don't want to always be. And the same thing in the hood too. I've been told like, yo, don't go over, yo, be careful over there. Like sometimes I just want to, like, it gets equally frustrated when I'm like, fuck, I can't do this shit. I'm sick of having to worry about my motherfucking life when I want to do fun shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, God damn.
I mean, I hear you because I know I do that shit. I've been in areas where they're like, there's be careful, there's a lot of petty crime or people, be robbing folks and all that kind of shit. But like, what was it? When I was in New Orleans a few months back, we were like, yo, where's like the good shit happening? Talking to like Uber drivers and shit like that, because our local friends were like, hey, good shit's gonna be happening. It's just not happening while you're here. So we were like, all right, guess we gotta ask locals about other shit. So we asked some locals, and every local we talked to, whether they were white, black, Creole, whatever, they were like, yeah, we're not taking you over there. Just because they were all like, normally if it was kind of bad, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is where it's gonna be. But shit has been so bad where motherfuckers are popping off that we're just like, with good conscience, we can't take you to the area where we know fun is happening, because fun gets interrupted on a 98% success rate.
Yeah.
And so it just be like that.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like first time I was in Durban, they were talking about, like people just get robbed and all this other kind of shit. Never felt danger one time. I was walking down a rural street at 2:00 in the morning where people walking past and never felt like they were ever going to rob me. And I'm like, I know I look American.
Bro, that's the same thing that happened to me when I moved to Atlanta. Like I guess and mind you, I should preface even my previous statements with like, I tend to usually follow, even though I don't like it and it frustrates me, 65-70% of the time, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna like shy away from that area at 2 a.m. or whatever, just to be on the safe side, especially if I haven't been to an area,
Yeah.
This particular time in Couch in Valparaiso, like I was going with a family. So I thought, okay, they could hopefully, if some shit called, they'd be like, yo, we know him. or I'll know if we're really friends. They were like, nah, we don't know this motherfucker. You know what I mean? How the fuck did you get here?
I mean,
like that. It's like
in
that.
In the hoods, very basic questions can be very life-threatening statements.
Where hood you from?
Hey, bro. Hey, where you from?
Yeah.
But when
where your grandma stay? Where your daddy stay?
I made a mistake and was like, well, not a mistake. It's one thing, like looking at places and getting as much information as you can, or like Reddit reviews or whatever, and then testing it out yourself. It's one thing to like just use that as objective information that you want to get to build build an understanding of an area that you haven't been to versus completely taking it all as completely factual as absolutely going to happen to you before you move to a town and then you miss out on some shit, those are different.
Yeah.
But I remember reading so much shit about Atlanta and I was just like, God. And then, part of it was me being a dumbass. Definitely found myself in places where I was like, I'm gonna fucking go for a bike or a skateboard. And 2, 3 in the morning, nothing happened. And then somebody was like, just a week ago, 17 robberies and 80 cars got broken into, which they did. It was on the news and shit. But I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, that was that All-Star Weekend? Was like a couple years ago? I think it's like a couple years ago. A couple years ago, All-Star Weekend. Like you said, it was like a bunch of cars in this parking garage got broken into because they just knew it's gonna be a bunch of money there.
Yeah.
So
and in certain neighborhoods, bro, like the robberies have been getting crazy here. Like on one weekend, it was like 80 break-ins in one weekend.
Oof.
Like I'm like, don't park on the street. Don't park.
A lot of times that be like groups of little kids, not little kids, but
and a lot of it is the same kids too, man.
Young kids,
yeah,
on the mission, like, hey, we about to do a lot. Well,
But it'd be the same thing with Chicago. Anytime nobody from here is asking about it, like, oh man, it's y'all got shootings every 3 square feet, right? And like, it's like, no, it's no.
Yeah.
Big fucking city.
I definitely been in some places just thinking it's all good, not knowing like the reputation of the place.
Yeah.
And then later on finding out, dang, you was there, like just just being alive, like just thinking it's all good. Like,
I've been in this area for 4 years. I just found out like 4 blocks away is O Block. Never knew that's what the fuck that little project gated community was.
Yeah, I've been in to that place exactly. Like I've done Uber over there a few times and just like didn't know it was that.
Yeah,
nothing happened, but it's like when I went there, I did feel like, dang, it's like one way in here and one way out. It's like little roads. Like, this is weird.
Oh yeah. Well, when you drive past, you're like, okay, that's clearly a project. Like, it's not a high rise project, but like remember in Terrytown there was those one apartment complex that was like all the buildings were burgundy.
Terrytown.
It was off of like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize it.
Or something.
Off of Clark Road. Yeah, when you look at it, you're like, okay, that's clearly a project. There's way too many wall air conditioning units.
Hey, bro, I didn't. It's so crazy how like popular O Block is now. At least because
it's like a tourist destination.
Yeah, I see. I hate when I see like stuff on like YouTube or like it'd be like a tour. Like you said, like people from other places will post that they're in like a notorious hood and they think they're cool. I'm like, nobody cares, man. Like, go see the Bean or something. Like,
but I realized I have been there a few times and nothing happened. I mean, it did seem like just kind of an awkward place, but nobody did try to do nothing to me or even talk to me, mess with me. But to the question of what we was talking about, like, I got a recent situation because y'all know I drive trucks, and I went to dropping this load off in Detroit. I actually go to Detroit a lot, kind of a lot, but this was more like a suburbs place, and it was like a steel load or something like that, and I was driving up. It seemed like a really nice place, which it was, it was or whatever. And as soon as I was pulling up, the guy, I couldn't tell like what race he was, but it seemed like he was like, excuse me if this is, I don't know if it's just like disrespectful, but you know how some like some people of Hispanic like more size themselves with white race.
Oh yeah.
So like this dude was like one of those guys, and
white Latino.
As soon as I approached, he was just like he was already disgruntled for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know, like, am I doing something wrong or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just had an attitude the whole time. But it was the one black guy that I was dealing with there, part of the unload process, and he was just like, he was just hanging around like he was supervising, but come to find out, like he was actually kind of new there, and he was like, yeah, once I saw you, like knew I was just gonna hang around because these guys like they kind of act kind of racist when they see somebody non-white come in and it's just that thing where you have to turn on to a different mode. Like you, like uh, like I said, he was almost like supervising the situation.
Yeah.
It's just that interesting thing where he was warning me and supervising at the same time because I didn't do anything wrong, which I thought I did. but but you have to be at that alert, and just the fact that black people have to deal with that unspoken thing, and a lot of people don't even know that's going on.
Right.
Like that's just crazy to me. Like, oh, you don't even have a position of power here, but you took it upon yourself, which I appreciated, to kind of hold my hand through the whole process, because off the bat, soon as I come up in there, I don't know if it was the locks or whatever. It's like, man, what this dude up to, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That you have to be in that state of mind. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Like I get exactly what you mean. 'Cause it's almost like you drove into a hostile work environment and you didn't even like without even realizing it. Like does
And
that
I was
yeah, like
I was talking to him like, I can only imagine what you deal with in here, because like
yeah.
I know they probably treat you like nothing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
you okay.
he was just telling me about his little situations there and what he deal with. So that's it.
Yeah, that's crazy because like for me, like I deal with like random like people all the time. I don't drive a truck or anything, but like I do pick up things like for the company I work for in a pickup truck. But um, but no, like there's times when I have an interaction with somebody, I'm like, dang, are you salty because you just having a bad day? Are you salty? And it's like in stories like what Mark just said is like, dang, it just makes you think like, are you salty because you're salty, or are you salty because of how I
Yeah.
look? And it's like sometimes it's hard to balance the two because I don't want to assume everyone's racist because I know everyone isn't racist, but it's like I don't know how to categorize
I didn't give you no
uh,
reason to act like
interaction.
this.
Exactly. Like I went like the other day, I was trying to get these receipts because we had ordered this stuff, and my boss is kind of weird in this way where like he lets people use his credit card to order it's to order things for the company. It's not like random. I still wouldn't trust people to do that. But anyway,
Sound like a setup.
yeah, but so he needs the receipt so he can, expense it and get his money, get reimbursed. So we were trying to track down these receipts for, these purchases, and he was really annoying me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just get the receipts. So I called the people. They gave me a hard time. I like like when you talk to someone on the phone and they're not gonna do anything. Like you could just feel it. Well, it was that. And she was like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'm like, okay, I know what that means. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up there. So I went up there instead, and I was like, hey, can I have a receipt? And like as soon as she made eye contact with me, I could tell this was the person I talked to on the phone. I just had a gut feeling, and like she like threw her hands up, like, and then made this face. I'm like, is there a problem? Like,
Right.
only thing I'm asking you to do is hit Control P and print. Like that's all you got to do. I'm not asking you to do anything physical. Just print this off so my boss leave me alone. Like, and she made this big fuss out of me, me asking for her to print a receipt off. But and like I said, I don't know if she was having a bad day. I don't know. And I'm not gonna say she's racist or anything, but it's like sometimes I'm in situations where like, I don't know. It was kind of like that one story I told a while back when I was downtown, I was walking and this lady like reverted her direction to look at an open field with trash in it. It was like, okay, are you really interested in this field, or did I make you do this? It's like, I don't know. I'll never know. But it just messes with my head,
Man, I found out in this driving, it's a very it's a racist industry, man. It's like highly toxic, man. I don't know. I think on top of it being kind of racist, it's just people are rude, man. Just you could go to a new place and they just petty over the things that they're mad at. Like they come to work mad. Like you were supposed to enter in at whatever, like 2 inches to the right or something. Like they just get mad at petty stuff. Like it's so crazy. And like Adam said, like stuff that's easy, like you will ask them to do something easy and they'll make a big fuss out of it. Like, are you just mad at your job, or you just pick who you get mad at, like for little petty reasons?
A lot of times there'll be power trips. If they know they get to have authority over some people, they will find ways to just assert some sort of power, regardless of whether or not they intend to do that. The fact that they can, they're like, oh, I need to discipline this person. And you're like, this is stupid. And you know this is stupid.
Yeah. Also to that point, it's like, I hate to say it, but is a lot of times when women are in these positions of power in certain industries that's dominated by men, is that like I go to a scale house or something and they be super rude, like, what do you want? Like, just whatever. Like, they'll be super rude because I could just tell, like, oh, you getting off on like telling men what to do right now. Not that I think that men should tell women what to do or something like that, but you feel like I could tell, like, you feel like you the queen because you in this industry
overcompensating.
That's dominated by men telling men what to do. Is like, dang, like, just relax. Like,
I think what also could be the case,
type of guy.
I feel that. I do think that there are scenarios like that. I do think other times it's like when, because I've seen scenarios where women are in that position and then dudes just be talking crazy to them. And so then they start having to meet every dude now with fucking spicy ass energy because of somebody else burning them.
But yo, this is one place that I go to where it's like only women who work there, and they all are super, super, super nice. It's like I'm looking around like, well, like, why are you being so nice? Like, this is crazy. Like, is amazing. But it's like, are you flirting with me, or like, what's going on right now? But they just being super nice, and they doing that to everybody. It's like, man, this is refreshing.
It goes a long way.
I wouldn't mind coming here and just it makes like, if people knew, like, whatever job you have, whoever your customer is, who you have to work with, if they were just nice, like, it'll make everything better.
Hey, you made me think about this. This is gonna be a deterrence from the subject. Do you still any of y'all still have like the dude thought that you kind of had when you were younger, where women just being nicer to you than you think the situation calls for? It's like,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've historically not been able to take cues correctly, so I can definitely yeah, I can agree with that, or yeah.
I've told women outright, or I say to people, I'm really blatant when I say it now. I go, yo, if you don't say shit outright to me, you did not flirt. Do not. I don't want to hear nothing in no future context talking about, oh yeah, I was feeling you and I tried to throw it at you. And I was like, did you say it? If you didn't say it, then it didn't happen. Because my brain has been like trained and conditioned now to assume nobody wants me. unless they explicitly say that shit, because I don't want to go thinking I'm taking a cue and then throw myself out there and you like, nigga, what did you think this was? And it ain't even a sense of rejection and all that kind of shit. It's just like, my assumption is going to be, oh no, they ain't really want you. And then you come to me later on being like, nah, I had been training my throat to get ready this whole time.
But some people got a weird,
that?
Some people got a weird like way of flirting though. It's like, oh, you was flirting? Like that's you was just kind of being
awkward.
Yeah, like
nice. You're just being nice. I'm like, that's not for
a lot of things in my life too for the same reason. Like you got to be pretty fucking clear because I might be joking and flirty and all that shit, but I'm not jumping to like from 0 to 100 unless it's very clear.
Yeah.
Also, if you've been dealing with rude people all day and somebody like just smiling at you is like you got your guard up kind of. So I can imagine what women go through because dudes be trying to hit on women like 10 times a day. They probably got to deal with
in every circumstance.
Yeah, for real. Yep.
And also,
so I'm like, damn.
And they be trying to hide their beauty and stuff, and it don't work.
It never works. And let me say this. And this may be like a stupid thing to say, but hey, fuck it. We being informal. Dear beautiful women of the world, just because you don't feel like you're beautiful in that moment doesn't mean shit to us.
Yeah, you can't hide it.
Because you're going like, man, I'm just sitting out here in a bonnet and my sweatpants, and I'm like, your ass is still giving full outstanding ovations as also, you walk down the street.
If you're not wearing makeup and you still pretty, like that's what we looking. That's what we like. Like so
that matters even more to me.
Know that. Just know that.
Ideal, yeah.
I can appreciate a good old Ike Turner face, as in beat down, but by all means, my barometer for attraction is if you look amazing to me when you look fucked up, then I know when you clean up, it's gonna be astounding.
Hey, you remember we used to use that word chopped?
Yeah. Oh man. That's crazy. I remember that.
That just came to my mind.
Oh, that was like 2004, 2003. That's 20 years ago.
Leave the makeup at home, yo. All I'm asking for is some SPF. Some SPF for moisturizer and you're good.
Yo, I can concur, and I can go, by all means, beat your face how you want to beat your face. I don't really give a fuck. If that makes you feel better, great. At the same time, it's two things. One, are you reliant on that? Because I need to know if you think your face looks good to begin with. And two, if you're gonna bear your face in this pillow, you better be ready to watch that motherfucker. Because
oh, you talking about hitting it from the back? I feel.
Nah, because if she on the back, you never know, might muff her into.
I just don't want the audience to know that I'm laughing, bro. I can tell if I'm laughing or crying. Okay.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, plenty of hotel pillows have gotten fucked up because and so yeah.
Yes, dude, it will never be unfunny when someone says muffing someone's face. I'm so sorry, beautiful women of the world.
I know we going way off topic now, but like, I've heard of stories. I forgot like who I was listening to, but like musicians or stars, they used to have women like somehow got in their hotel rooms before they got back. Yeah, it's like how do you do that? Like you run in while somebody cleaning or something like
or did somebody let you in on some shit?
No, I mean snuck in somehow. Somebody they didn't know, basically.
Some of these people wouldn't know how to break in through windows if they weren't like luxury high-rise hotels. sometimes, you know, they'll be like, hey, I'll give security guard or something like that, hotel concierge, a good old handy or to get into that room. So you suck the dick you need to, so you suck the dick you won't.
I'll just be scared, like, how I know you're not setting me up.
Oh, it's always set up. More often than not, they trying to get set up. They trying to get set up by setting you up. They figure a lot of times in those scenarios, especially, you know, the Motley Crue days or like rappers or hell, they used to happen to the Jacksons when they were still kids.
Yeah, and that, like, when you hit that level of like fame or notoriety or popularity, like how do you trust somebody else, man?
That is often the reason why a lot of them don't have healthy. A lot of times you hear stories about like them not having healthy relationships or not being able to have healthy relationships, especially with people who weren't also in the industry, because a lot of times you just want to. It just makes more sense to be with somebody who's at least adjacent to your field.
Yeah, well, that's why I be seeing.
Been there.
I understand why like their bodyguards are their best friends a lot of time, like because they have to be.
Yeah.
Like you probably know me better than anybody. Like.
Oh, for real, dog. Speaking of like going to places that are dangerous in any capacity, like they're going to places where shit can pop off on some, you know, I'm a crazy fan, I love you. If I can't get you, no one can. Then they go. Like that's for them. They walking in that a lot of scenarios. Like, damn, I'm sure with that chip on their shoulder. Shit.
Doom, 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 doom.
I just saw this video. 50 Cent was like, I guess he was like in the crowd performing or something. People was like grabbing all over him. He was like pushed this lady away from pulling on his shirt. This dude above him was like just feeling all on him though. That's why I was like, what is going on here? Like,
yeah, 50 on tour now. Doing it. I think he's doing his hits or whatever, or just get rich
or something like
I can't remember.
They always say like this is last. It's always the artist's last tour to get people out.
How many times did Jay-Z retire, man?
I wouldn't be surprised if 50 did feel that way. One, because 50 not in shape no more, so he's touring as hard on the body. Two, he doesn't need to tour. A lot of these artists, like the OJs and shit, they need money, so they don't tour.
He definitely coming to the hard rock.
Yeah, okay. Right. Please.
I'm sure they're coming next year.
Can I perform here, please? I should need 20 people to come. Can I?
That's funny.
Oh my God, yeah.
But no, like 50 has so much money in other ventures, he doesn't need to tour.
Yeah, true.
Hey, do we feel like fame or notoriety or just doing what you love on a large scale? And so doing what you love on a large scale to the point where you become popular or famous without even trying, do you feel like that's worth this other side where you might have that chip on your shoulder or you know, half the motherfuckers you meet love you for the idea that they have of you versus like on some real genuine shit? It might be different for us because we've been riding, you know, for 20 plus years and we got people, family, friends who would probably go along with us and keep us humble and, you know, just
grounded. Yeah.
So it's that other side of like, all right, yo, you still got to do these fucking dishes when you come in this house. You know what I mean? Is it worth it knowing both sides and knowing what we hear about both sides?
I feel like some part of it has to be worth it. I don't know that. Yeah, I think it's different now in the social media era than it was in, you know, the 90s or whatever.
That's true.
And so I think fame looks a lot different now. And how rich are we talking? Like, if we're talking about rich for our industry, we're talking about rich like Bezos. We're talking about.
That's a good point. I was putting less emphasis on rich and more on you can be super fucking famous and be taking the bus or whatever. Because, like you said, especially with social media, everybody knows you, but don't mean you're making money.
Yeah.
I mean, Shit, how often did we clown fucking Chad Moss for riding and coaching, acting like he was on a private jet?
Yeah. And what's crazy
man.
is we wouldn't care if he was riding,
If he didn't
not
try to
first
lie.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the lying about it. That's what makes it comical.
And I'll even say we wouldn't care. There's a lot of tabloids and all that kind of shit, and people who, for some reason, care so much about celebrity lives that would have cared.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is like around that time, people was like exposing, like, hey, like most of the people who claim to have these cars and do these things, they actually doing the same thing. Like they really don't have them. They really not flying private all the time. Like
wasn't that Cribs in a nutshell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They really don't. Some of these people actually don't live this life that they showing.
Yeah. Right. As far as the car thing, though, like a lot of people lease, but then but when you look at it, it makes sense to lease and not to spend $250,000 on a car that you have no intention on keeping to begin with.
Yeah.
And if you got the steady income, exactly. And if you got the steady income, leasing it just makes more sense anyway. I would lease if I could, but or if I needed to, I guess. Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna have 12, like if you're not Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah. Right. But yeah, for me, I guess maybe it could be worth it. Who knows? There's a couple famous chicks that I would love to be able to be in proximity to. And so if fame and notoriety, you get that, and that means I get to,
yes, it will
knock down
Lizzo.
Lizzo can hold that, but
Lizzo can hold your drink while you smashing somebody up.
And the thing is, like, I ain't got nothing against Lizzo. That
play the flute.
Even as far as like big chicks are concerned, like Lizzo ain't that for me. I'm trying to think who.
All due respect, Lizzo. All due respect. All right.
Yeah, whatever. I'm trying to think, like, yo, rattle off if you got money and proximity, who's three women that you going after?
Maya. I know she's older, but
that's instant.
It's easy. I want those lips. Both
sets. And what's funny is I know me, like mine ain't even like A-listers or nothing like that.
I really don't even.
Like I'm like, yo, give me Jessica Williams, give me Vanessa Hudgens, and give me I don't know, Adriana Chechik. But
I mean, I guess there are quite a few porn stars. There's I got to pull up my Google, my Google Docs. I got a lot of people in the row 6 cell, whatever.
I'm like, yo, give me a couple of women from Rami. Can't remember their names right now, but excellent show if y'all haven't watched it.
I like Zoe Saldana.
Zoe could get it.
I've been wanting that. Wanting that for a while.
Marco, who you got?
I don't know, man. Like, I would say, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson. But she, getting kind of old. But it's cool though. She's still bad. That don't really mean that she, falling off or nothing. But I don't really like look at famous people like they're more attractive or anything like that. Like I
ain't saying more. I
be feeling like the regular beautiful women are more, attractive to me.
The question is more so it really is that thing of like you date kind of where you have proximity to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Because trust believe, if I thought I could pull Jessica Williams, I would. I would go for it quickly.
Wait,
But
who is Jessica Williams?
So did you watch Intergalactic with the Kid Cudi animated film?
Oh, yes.
Or was it Love Life on Hulu? Or she was I got introduced to her as a correspondent on Daily Show. She got a
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
You might have to Google her.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I got folks coming to mind now, man. For sure. I'm trying to get Uma when she was younger or now.
Thurman?
Yeah. I'm trying to get Kill Bill Volume 1 through 3, son. I'm trying to get all of them. For real. With my ass. For sure. For real, yo.
There's a couple of folks out there, but I'm just like, I just know we're not in the same.
I want to hear Adam. I want to hear a list. I want to hear 1 and 2. I want to hear a couple names, man.
We know you married. Kirsten ain't gonna be mad.
No, I'm not thinking. I've honestly been. I don't know because of course, like when these questions come up, like you want to give the best answer you can, but it's like I don't.
I didn't even get the best. I just gave the first one that came to my mind, to be honest.
Okay, well, I guess
no one has said Beyonce, right? No one has said Queen Bee is popular. She is.
Yeah, but she cool. But even in Destiny Child days, I was always more about Kelly than I was Beyonce, to be completely honest.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to steal an answer for Aaron. Maya. Okay. Yeah, gonna have to steal Aaron.
Rock, paper, scissors, say who gets to beat it up first.
I didn't say all that. No. Save my, save some trouble. But let me think. Off top.
I got one last follow-up question to close us out too. So I was just saying that so I can remember that I got it.
I would say Zazie Beetz be on there.
That's a great one. Zazie, that's a great one.
If I said it right. That name always sounds like a producer name to me. Like
Zazie Beetz on the track.
Let's see. Give me a third one.
Remind me. I don't want to bear off too much. Was she on the show Atlanta? Was that her?
Yeah. The girlfriend.
Seen her.
Oh yeah, I like her too.
Yeah. She was in Deadpool as well. The second one.
Domino.
I've seen her at that salad place that I used to go to all the time.
Oh really?
Hey, what's the Captain Marvel best friend? She in a bunch of movies.
Oh,
I think she dope.
Tiana Paris.
Yeah, she dope. Yeah.
Was she in True Blood?
I'll put her on my list.
She's in a bunch
of movies right now.
Oh, I'm thinking somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, I like her. She cool.
Yeah, Tiana Paris, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't be knowing their names. Maybe I should get to know them. Get to know their names.
I be learning names.
Yeah. I'll stick with those two for now until I want to give a typical one.
Thank you for bringing up those two. Those are heavy hitters for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I see her, I'm like, man, she do something for me, man.
Yes. I completely concur with that. And watch They Clone Tyrone if you haven't. Great movie.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
I keep meaning to watch that, man.
It was really great to see Jamie be comedic again because it made me realize how long it's been since he's been comedic. Like for real.
Yeah.
I'm glad homeboy is back because he be posting some shit on Instagram. I be like, man, he went through it. God damn. I'm like,
I haven't seen him. What he looked like he been going through.
I know he was sick for a while, so he clearly lost some weight. He looked a little pale. Last video I saw, and then the internet started being stupid, talking about he's a clone and
all this other shit. Gonna say that.
Like he been replaced and Jamie's gone or whatever. And it's like, yo, he was sick. This is the same shit y'all did to Chadwick. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Motherfucker was going through some life-threatening shit. Can we?
Did they ever say what actually was going on with him? Or are they still?
I think he had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they've been really really like private about it, which is respectable.
Yeah, this is respectable. Yeah.
Yep. Medical history is supposed to be confidential. So.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want it to be public.
Of course.
You don't have to.
Right. You don't have to.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
But yo, before we as we close out, I gotta I was thinking about making a new segment of let's rename a thing, or let's name a thing that doesn't necessarily have a name for whatever reason. So colloquially, we know if one it is known anyway that if a chick gets ran down by more than one guy, it's referred to as running a train.
Yeah. So I thought.
But if it's reversed, is that you getting the train ran on him?
I guess so. I mean, I guess funny. I don't see why not.
I didn't realize the special was gonna stump y'all so hard.
Because for me, I'm like visualizing the actual train. And like, okay, there's cars, and I guess for me, when I think of like train, like that, like
you were literal with it, okay?
Yeah. For me, I always think of like the train in the general sense of male, female, male is kind of always in my image, kind of like the whole split roast type of situation. But anyway, so if there's 3 cars connect to each other, that's how I'm looking at a train. So I look at the same thing. If it's, although you don't typically see train cars on top of each other, and I guess if it's a 2 female male thing, that wouldn't really work. So I don't know, maybe not, or maybe. I mean, I guess it could still be a train because sometimes they have shipping containers stacked on top of others, so it's still very much a train. So yeah.
As long as there's no windows, yeah, man.
I would say yeah.
If you don't think it is, then what would you call it?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to think of a name for it.
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog.
I was trying to make it train related. What's a train that go in reverse?
Short circuit.
That's got a steam engine.
Off the rails.
You went off the rails.
I guess it depends on what. I mean, I guess what are the common positions of 2 female male?
I mean, there's one riding face, one riding dick. There's the double decker situation where they could be face to face or face to back, and you hit either both from the back or you hit one from the back and one from the front, but you can't see the front because looking at back of homegirl's head, you could like see her head like lean to the side.
or the shared popsicle experience.
Yeah, that's what came to mind. Like
in ideal circumstances, they both like the same flavor. I do appreciate that.
But I guess I'm speaking generally, just because like the general thing, it doesn't get categorized by position if it's two guys and a girl.
That's true. Yeah.
But like, because I even think about like the porn category of when it's like a orgy situation with one chick and a bunch of dudes, that's called a gangbang.
Yeah.
But when it's reversed, it's just called a reverse gangbang, in which like you go, y'all couldn't either think of a new word, or y'all like gangbang is implicitly one bitch and several niggas. That by definition. You say gangbang, that's what we think it is. It's one woman and a bunch of penises.
I don't know. I feel like that. I think it should have its own name. I just don't know what. Because like it's got to be visual. Like you have to be able to say it and instantly like, okay, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the association, right?
Damn, dog. That's a very good point. That's a
we might have to think on that one.
All right.
It gotta be something.
All right, hold on. Yeah. And again, y'all want a better name, you better come up with it. So by all means, Right
Y'all know
in.
this girl, Kayla Tucker?
No.
She like a social media girl.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about her. Like I'm always looking at her stuff. Like she pretty hot. I didn't know if she was famous or not. Like off the last subject. Like I was still trying to put together that list.
Okay.
I didn't know if other people knew her, but
say your name again.
Kayla Tucker.
Kayla Tucker. Okay, word.
I just saw she about to get married. So
with a C or a K?
K.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's kind of how I felt about Vanessa Hudgens when I was like, man, why find women always settling for mediocre white dudes? But even though I hate her voice with a passion. But yeah. All right. What you say?
Real quick, that's like a crazy subject right there, because like I guess you could look at their followers, but nowadays somebody could be famous to you, but you don't really know if they're famous. Like,
oh yeah, especially with TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that's like
they niche famous.
Millions.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow this dude. I follow this dude on YouTube. I think his channel's like Big Dolls TV. I don't know if you heard of him, but he like basically just gives out money all the time. That's like basically the channel. But this dude has like what's up?
Like Mr. Beast.
Yeah. And this dude's got like 10 million followers though, just from doing that. So it's like the channel funds his ability to give away money. So it's kind of like it's like a vicious, not vicious, but it's cool cycle, I guess. Like hey, I make money from the channel and I just give it out to people. But of course I'm gonna make far more than I give out. So I mean, it's a win-win. But
that's crazy. It's like famous people that it's like a kind of an oxymoron to say like, dang, she like super famous, but a lot of people don't know you.
Yeah.
Like famous used to be like household name.
Yeah.
But now it's like you could be famous to 2 million people and that's a like core audience.
Yeah.
I may not know you at all. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Because think about it, if you got 2 million followers and at least 10% of them actually support you, you set.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yep.
Like not even at least 10%, but like 10% is good.
Yeah, even 5%. Like you drop like some merch, once a season, and it all sells out in like 10 minutes. Like people do that all the time. Like it's they build a following and they start releasing stuff to buy and Patreon, and it's like you don't need a lot of purchases. If you got, like you said, 2 million followers, even 1% of that is what, like 20,000, I think, or I don't know, maybe the math's wrong. So. If 20,000 people buy something from you for $50, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah, for sure. All right, Holness, you've been charged with two things. One, tell us what you would call the reverse train, and two, help us get these followers up. We appreciate y'all for listening, fellas. You got any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Man, not this time.
Y'all beautiful. Y'all listeners, y'all beautiful out there.
In every which way, we appreciate you. We love you, and every connection you make, every companion that you coincide with, we encourage, empower, and implore you to always be forthright, be vulnerable, and please do your giggity goddamn best to keep it honest. Peace.
Ciao.
Peace.
Peace, world.
Cue the music. If it wasn't cute already.
Yeah, it's probably creeping up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, I know how it is.
This girl got 126K.
Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana.